Sports People Hawaii, brought to you by Jamba Hawaii, celebrating 20 years of blending aloha. 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store. And Vacations Hawaii, Hawaii's favorite connection to Las Vegas.
Aloha everybody, and welcome to another edition of Sports People Hawaii. I'm Howard Deshevsky. Where else but in Las Vegas, specifically at the Fremont Street Experience. And believe me, if you haven't been here recently, it's a whole new ballgame. The world's largest video screen here just got a whole lot better. A $32 million upgrade unveiled New Year's Eve. 7 times brighter, 4 times more resolution. So bright it can now be enjoyed by day, but of course, so much better at night. But of course, we're here to enjoy much more than just the bright lights of the city. We're going to take you to some great places and some great stories, including the Golden Knights hockey team. If you didn't think you were a hockey fan, go to one game and I promise it's going to change your whole perspective, because more than just the game, it's actually one of the greatest shows now in Las Vegas. Also coming up in this half hour, the Raiders are soon going to be calling Las Vegas home. We're going to check out this beautiful stadium and hear from a former Hawaii professional athlete who knows a thing or two about playing in some of the best stadiums in the entire country. And finally, we're going to head to Extreme Couture. It's more than just another MMA gym. This is a place where Hawaii fighters come to find their way into the professional ranks. There's a whole lot of aloha going on in that place. But first, as always, we get things going with another tip to help you get fit quick.
Get Fit Quick, brought to you by Jocko Rehabilitation.
Hey everybody, this is Jocko from Jocko Rehab. I know something. I know you guys like to travel, and I know you guys like to go to Vegas. So I have some great exercises for you on the plane and while you're in Vegas at the crab stable or at the gambling machine. So the key is those long plane rides, when you're sitting for a long time, you gotta do some exercises while you're sitting in your chair. And one of them is that you point your foot up and down a lot, like every hour. You gotta do at least 20 times, up and down, up and down. The second one is you do circles with your feet. Circles, circles. The other thing you can do is you can put compression socks on, those long socks. Awesome, these long socks that you put on your leg, they kind of keep your leg from swelling. These are awesome things. You gotta walk around a little bit in the plane too. So you got, when you walk to the galley, you gotta do stretches for your arms, like a cross body stretch that Bianca is showing here. And then another one where you go over and you stretch your tricep and you go over to one side with your body. That's a great one too. For your back, because you're sitting so long in one position, don't do that. You gotta bend backwards. Put your hand on your butt and bend backwards. When you're walking in the aisle of the plane, you gotta stretch your hamstrings. Good. Both sides, and you gotta stretch your quad. You grab your ankle and you stretch your quad in and you stay in place there. Good. So that way you can survive the ride without paying for first class or economy plus, because we can't afford that. All right. Now, when you're in Vegas at the crab stable, you do the same stretches. And when you do that, I can guarantee that you win more money, but less chance you're going to see him in the clinic. I guarantee it.
Get Fit Quick, brought to you by Jocko Rehabilitation, keeping you in the game of life.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by Jamba Hawaii, celebrating 20 years of blending aloha.
Hey, welcome back everybody to this edition of Sports People Hawaii from Las Vegas. Of course, people come here for many, many reasons. There's the food, the gambling, of course, and then there's the entertainment. And now one of the greatest shows on the entire strip actually takes place just off the strip on ice. From the very moment you step inside the T-Mobile Arena, the anticipation builds, and it has nothing to do with the actual Golden Knights hockey game. But rather the pre-game introductions and show that is always new, always innovative, and is always beyond exciting.
We like to think that it is a great show. I'm not going to compare against the other shows on the Strip because this is a world-class entertainment town, and we hope that we're a small part of that. We hope that we're world-class, and you know, that part of the Knights code is to always advance and always try, and so that's what we're constantly trying to do with the show, is that we're trying to advance it. We're trying to advance the technology, advance the entertainment value, and just keep pushing forward with it.
Director of Entertainment Erin Sequeira says her team has the full backing of ownership. And when it comes to whatever they dream up before every game, she says the sky's the limit.
People have a short attention span, right? And they can fall in love with something, and they have fallen in love with this team in a way that I've never seen in any other city. But you have to continue to give them a quality product. And so for us, we are always trying to find something new, something innovative, something different. And so even something as simple as just changing out the teaser video that runs each night, or freshening up a video that we run in the third period, it's our responsibility to try and be creative and innovative for those things.
And how much fun is it every night when you do what you do and you just see the reaction, because it's live, it's visceral, it's in the moment?
One of the best things about, I'll say, my job, and I know our teams will say the same thing, the best thing about our jobs is, unlike TV, when you put something out, you don't get the instant reaction. Mm-hmm. So a place like this, when there's 18,000 plus people and a video plays that you know you're a part of, and they react the way that you intended them to react when you created it, it's magical. It really is.
And that magic is witnessed by 18,000 fans every single game, representing every place on Earth, including Hawaii.
It's fun, it's exciting, the audience, the fan base is awesome. There's a lot of Hawaii people that actually support Golden Knights. It's crazy. It's beyond crazy where, you know, coming from Hawaii, we've never ever experienced it. So now living in Vegas, it's like off the hook.
Our pregame is nuts. It's pretty crazy. They do like a show before the game.
So is this like better than seeing a show on the Las Vegas Strip?
I think.
Oh yeah, exactly.
While always fun and exciting, the show produced before every home game is always rooted deeply in both passion and, in some ways, pain. The Golden Knights' first season as an expansion team was marred by tragedy, starting shortly after the shooting that killed more than 50 people, and then miraculously culminating in a trip to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Las Vegas has been called the miracle in the desert.
I mean, how do you even put that first season into words?
It was a Disney movie. That was the inaugural season, and being part of bringing pro sports to hockey and being part of the healing from the 1 October events. It is the greatest honor of probably my career. Like, just being a part of that and seeing how something so terrible brought this town together in a way that they had never seen. And Las Vegas gets a bad rap for being a transient town, for not having any locals. And the lines for the blood bank were miles long. And the way that people came out and the way that people took care of each other. And then the fact that they could come to the games and they could cheer and they could cry and they could get excited, and that emotional release, that being able to provide that for them, to give them that space to do that, was an amazing and incredible experience.
Right up into the Stanley Cup Finals.
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, it's a dream season. It was a dream season. And you know, the players were the golden misfits because they came from a bunch of different places, but so did everybody that worked for the team. Like, there wasn't an organization that relocated here. They brought people. Our team of 10 people that worked on the show came from 10 different places. So it really was a unique and incredible experience that I don't know how it could ever be replicated.
It's anyone's guess if the Golden Knights will ever compete for Lord Stanley's Cup again, but if you're looking for a sure bet in Las Vegas, count on the fact that the Golden Knights entertainment team will always deliver an amazing show.
Someday there could even be a Hawaiian theme night with ice projection, lava explosions, and special effects, and girls doing the hula. Nothing's off the table. Anything's possible.
Of course, the comedians here in Las Vegas are fun. The Cirque du Soleil shows are wonderful and entertaining, but I promise you, go to the arena, check out a hockey game, and you will be a Golden Knights fan for life. I guarantee it. And stick around, because when we come back, guess who's coming to town?
Join the matcha movement this new year at Jamba Hawaii. Energize your start to 2020 with our new Gotcha Matcha lineup. Try the light and refreshing matcha lemon squeeze made with our equally light and refreshing Jamba lemonade. Or capture that pick-me-up feeling with the tropical flavors of the matcha mango smoothie made with real mango. Prefer a spoon? Our new matcha bowl is excellent to kickstart your morning or beat that afternoon slump. Gotcha! Matcha, only at Jamba Hawaii, celebrating 20 years of blending aloha.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by 7-Eleven Hawaii, your neighborhood store.
Hey, welcome back, everybody, to Sports People Hawaii in Las Vegas. Of course, the city has it all. We have the gambling, the food, the entertainment. Now we know all about the Golden Knights hockey team. So what's the next big thing that's coming to Vegas? Well, that's easy. The silver and black. Less than 3 years after breaking ground, the stadium has taken shape and the Raiders have staked their claim in the desert.
And today, Las Vegas officially becomes our nation's capital.
This is definitely a fact. This is coming true. And we love it here, man. Very, very excited.
The NFL franchise that originally kicked off in Oakland in 1960 played 21 years in the city by the bay before moving down to Los Angeles in 1982. Then after 14 seasons down south, the team returned to Oakland, where it played for the past 24 years. Now, Raiders players, both young and old, are celebrating yet another fresh start.
The city of Las Vegas has been tremendous in helping with all of this. And now they've got to put a competitive team out there on the football field and bring home some more championships.
And it's not just Raiders Nation jumping on the hype train. A whole new fan base is already on board.
Now you can bring your family and go to shows and do things. It's not just what, Vegas was once 20 years ago. It's, people bring their families now. I see a lot of that happening. So that's what's great about it too. It's become, I feel like, a little family-oriented place.
Including former Maui star and World Series champion Shane Victorino, who's already bought his season tickets.
I'm all in. I get it. I mean, as I said, the perspective of what sports does for a place. Being an athlete and understanding that, and why not? They're my hometown team now. I mean, this is my home. Yes, my heart and my soul will always be Hawaii and be Maui, and that's a place that will never leave me. But unfortunately, I don't know if we'll ever have professional sports there. And would I be an advocate for it? 100%.
Being a former professional athlete himself, Victorino knows a little something about what professional sports represents.
I mean, it means everything for a city. Understanding what sports is all about. Being able to play in some of the big cities like Philadelphia, Boston, we're coming out west to the Dodgers and playing in LA and obviously in Anaheim and San Diego. I say to myself, I'm lucky to understand that perspective as an athlete, but sometimes it's hard for people to understand, what I think sports does for places. Going back to my childhood and watching UH and growing up as a kid watching UH and when sports was at its prime, and you know, I guess that made me and motivated me to understand how big sports was, you know, because I didn't have, you know, sports, professional sports growing up, as you know, firsthand.
In addition to securing seats for the Raiders, he also holds 4 season tickets to the Golden Knights.
You know, my children, I think that's the part for me, is understanding that father and son relationship. Like, my son's a Golden Knight fan. My son will be a Raiders fan because this is where he grows up. This was where he was born. This is his home. So he's going to root for his hometown team. So, yes, as a father, I got to support that. And that's the part that really motivates me to do. And, you know, and then go and buy season tickets, you know, for the Knights and obviously the Raiders and whatever other sports team that comes here eventually.
And it's not just sports fans who are motivated by the addition of the Raiders. For Las Vegas tourism officials, it's just one more reason to visit.
It's just great. I mean, we're in the epicenter of this new stadium and all the excitement that the Raiders brings, and also the opposing teams of the Raiders. So it's really something for everyone, and we're really excited about it. It's a great time for Las Vegas.
And a perfect opportunity for Tejeda, whose 4 Seasons resort sits right there in the shadows of the new stadium.
It's been incredible, a $2 billion stadium going up in the shortest time in history. It's only been less than 3 years for them to build this stadium. And while I get excited about the Raiders, I think what people don't really understand is there's a plan for 45 events a year in that stadium, superstar concerts, talking about the Super Bowl in 2025. It's just endless, and just for us to be within walking distance is just a game changer for us in the city. It's a natural fit. As a matter of fact, I was just at our 4 Seasons Maui property, and I met with some of my colleagues, and they call us the 9th Island, and they love coming to Las Vegas. Now it just gives them one more reason to come here.
And back to Victorino. He never thought he'd be a Raiders fan, let alone a hockey fan, but he says it's all just part of the larger picture.
It's a perspective of understanding, like, I see a Super Bowl someday being here every 5 years, and to get an opportunity to get tickets to a Super Bowl. When I grew up as a little boy in Maui playing sports, come on, never thought that I'd have an opportunity to one, support a professional sports team, and yeah, 2, to have an opportunity maybe to take my children to it. So I just think it's a bigger, you know, it's a bigger picture than just the Raiders too. I think that's what makes it great for me.
Tell you what, it's a beautiful stadium already. It's going to be finished in August, preseason NFL, and of course, the University of Hawaii football team will be playing there in a couple of years because that'll also be the home of UNLV football for the future. Pretty cool stuff. And stick around, everybody, when we come back here, a dose of aloha in the cage.
Every story has a journey, carried by the dancing wind. It is a soft explosion, echoing in the hearts of those that love. When open arms take flight, spread your love against the dark of night. Live for hope, long for passion. Live, love, 7 for life.
This segment of Sports People Hawaii is brought to you by Vacations Hawaii, Hawaii's favorite connection to Las Vegas.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. For anybody who wants to make a living fighting, you know that's a very challenging road. But there's one place here in Vegas where a lot of local boys come together, they push each other, they share the spirit of aloha, and they make themselves better. And many use this gym as a springboard to the pros. If you didn't know any better, you would naturally assume that these guys are all just hanging out at a gym somewhere in Hawaii. But while all these fighters grew up in the islands, they now call Las Vegas home. And the Extreme Couture Gym is their new gathering place.
No, yeah, these guys are my family, you know? Even not the Hawaii guys, just the guys at Extreme Couture in general. Everyone here is my family. And it feels like that.
Named after former MMA champ Randy Couture, the gym first started attracting Hawaii fighters little more than a decade ago with the arrival of Brad Tavares, who turned professional in 2008. A half dozen years later, he invited another local boy, Dan Ige, to join him.
He invited me up about 4 years ago. I actually came out and did a few training camps up here when I was living back in Hawaii, and I just kind of felt at home here, you know. And so when I, finally made the move, he invited me to his house. Slept on his couch for a little bit till I got on my feet, but yeah, we got tons of Hawaii talent out here, and I don't know what it is. It's just like, it's a family, Ohana vibe over here, and like it just feels like family here, you know.
Alpuni Pogoa was the next fighter to make the move, something he says gave him not only a fresh start, but set him on a better path.
Kind of was getting into trouble a little bit. We came from the same gym back home, MMAD, but I was like a little knucklehead. My cousin Colin Manzanas trained at the gym with us as well, good friend of Brad. Like, got me set up with Brad. Heard Dad was moving, was like, hey, let's get out there together. Jumped on the plane and we made our way here. It's been a great move since then.
From there, that new Las Vegas family, or Ohana, continued to grow quickly. A fresh start, but not an easy path.
Growing up my whole career was basically fighting for free. Back in Hawaii, can't tell you how many fights I fought for free. So it's just been a grind, knowing that eventually one day I would make it to the top and getting out of our comfort zone. Staying in Hawaii was, it's a comfortable place for me to live. Growing up there, it's easy to get distracted. We go to the beach, go surf all the time. Maybe we're not 100% focused on our fighting career, but when I'm here, there's no distractions. I'm just 100% focused and, focused on fighting and getting better.
Now, Ige and the growing number of other former Hawaii fighters say they're in a place where everybody is pushing one another to get better.
I just knew for me personally, I needed the growth, not only like getting better in skill and fighting with all these top-notch guys and world-class professionals out here. It was more of an intellect for me and more to expand my horizons, and I knew that if I want to be the person that I want to be for my people back home, this is a necessary step in the process.
Oh, it's been crucial. I feel like this has been a big part of the reason why I've been so successful. I feel like the distractions haven't been there. I'm less comfortable here, so I can just focus on like training and getting better,
Naturally, all these fighters have Hawaii in their heart and in their blood, but they say there's no question that the road to turning professional, at least for them, runs through the desert. Punahele Soriano has been fighting professionally and winning for a couple of years now.
After I graduated college, I didn't really have plans. I didn't really know what I was doing. Kind of just going around job to job. Nothing felt right. And Dan Ige actually invited me to come to the gym and start wrestling with these guys, and I just kind of fell in love with the sport from then on.
And while they all fight out of Las Vegas now, they will always represent Hawaii. And thanks in part to those who have come before them, they look forward to representing the 808 here at home sometime sooner than later.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you see other promotions out there like Bellator. They've had 2 successful events in Hawaii now. It's only a matter of time for the UFC to come to Hawaii. And like you said, we have Max, VJ, myself, Yancy Medeiros, Ray Charles, tons of guys from Hawaii now in the UFC.
But until that day comes, the 9th Island will be home, and these fighters will continue to push one another to be better, both inside and outside of the cage. These guys have definitely chosen a difficult profession, but it's great that they're all there pushing each other and cheering each other on to be better. And at the end of the day, when they're not fighting, it's great to see just a bunch of local guys hanging out, having a good time. And that does it for us in this edition of Sports People Hawaii. Mahalo, of course, to Vacations Hawaii for bringing us to Vegas. And until next time, take care of yourself. We'll see you around the corner on Sports People Hawaii.
Who's got the best deals in Vegas around? Call 591-4777 today. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Vacations Hawaii. Good luck, we go play. 591-4777 today. Good luck. We go play.